Hello, this is Biblical Tarot, and I'm back with another video. Today I will be doing a card of the day. It's Friday, August 6th. My card of the day was... I gotta be careful on that, huh? Yeah, here we go. This was the card of the day. Alright. This was my card. Okay. And that says the Nine of Swords. Okay. And it's a gloomy card, It looks gloomy. The blackness of the background, gloomy. The swords, the way they're going, looks pretty scary to me. Looks like you can hang up on that mug with blood dripping down, but I don't want to go further on that. Okay, the figure looks kind of androgynous. Let's say that. Androgynous. Looks like male, could be female, You don't know. You don't see like long hair, but you see hair. So, even when you look at the hands, they kind of look a little bit manly. So, like, it could be any. It could be male or female. Whatever you want it to be. It could be both. Eh? Let's see. Let's look at the meaning of the card. Okay. So, the upright meaning is death, failure, miscarriage, delay, deception, disappointment, despair, and eschatologic priest. Yes. Generally a card of bad omen. Bad sign. Reverses imprisonment, suspicion, doubt, reasonable fear, shame, good ground for suspicion against a doubtful person. Additional meanings, same. Basically a generally bad card. Good ground for suspicion against a doubtful person. Okay, so let's go back and see that. The gloomy card. The person looks like they're grieving, like it's the most horrible night, the darkest night of the soul, maybe, like some really deep stuff is going down, and this is going to be traumatizing, like this is going to be changing, like life changing. Whatever happened is like life changing, like a big time, a big tragedy. Yeah, that's what I see in the card. So as I'm looking at this card, definitely it reminds me of biblical stories. They just are in my head. And so when I look at this card, the first thing I notice is there's like that little picture in the bed. You see the bed, you see like, like those wooden beds that kind of have pullouts, where you can put the blankets or something. Well, there's like a little scene within this bed. And it looks like, looks like two men fighting. And I'm going to, I'm going to show it to you better so we can see it better. And hopefully, because when I export these videos, sometimes, they don't come out as clear as I can see them on my phone, which totally sucks. So I hope you can see this guy fighting this other guy in that picture in the bed. So you could tell he's got a sword and he's like about to strike this guy, and the guy is leaning back because like he's losing or whatever. And in the back of them, you can see two trees. I see two trees in the back of them, okay? And that's important, those trees. So, we go back. Oh, sorry, guys. My bad. Oh, let's see. Ooh. I think I need to go back to this. Okay. So, what I wanted to show you was that this card reminds me of it's in the New Testament, and it's when Jesus is about to get arrested, and he is in the Garden of Gethsemane, and the high priest comes with the high priest's servant. They come to arrest, I think they come to arrest Jesus. And what happens is Peter takes out his sword and he cuts the man's ear off, because he's like, he's ready to fight. He's like, this is about to be the end of the world, probably. Like, it's about to be the end of the world. We about to fight. But Jesus didn't want that. And like, Jesus like healed the guy's ear or whatever. But if when you look in that picture of that bed, okay, bear with me, guys. You see the guy fighting or whatever, but it looks the same as if you Google pictures of Peter cutting off this guy's ear. It looks the same if you see that. See that? It's like the same position too. Like, he's about to cut off the ear, and the guy is like leaning back, and he's like, shit, my ear is about to come off. It's the right ear. I think he cut off his right ear. It's like, I don't know, but Peter was aggressive, huh? He's kind of like reminding me of like Mike Tyson type. Like, nigga, I will bite your ear off. He probably, if he didn't have that sword, he probably would have bit his ear off. But I don't know. Let me go back. Here goes another picture. Any picture, you can even see this picture done as black, and they still have that same kind of like movement, where he's like got the sword and the guy is like falling back. So yeah. And when I look at that card, that's totally what I see, excuse me, in the bed. Is that happening? Okay. And then I'm going to go further on that. When I look at that, I see in the background, I see those trees. And like I was telling you about the story in the beginning, that this happened in the Garden of Gethsemane, okay? And that is the Garden of olive trees, all right? It's the Garden of Olive Trees, guys. Right here, this is the name, Gethsemane, and it means oil press, okay? It was a grove. I think that's so interesting. It was a garden, But I'm going to read it in the Bible to fully show you, Also, too, with this picture is the fact that when that happened, it was like a very sad and gloomy and stressful time, Like, before he got arrested, if you read in the story, he was like crying, and like blood was like crying blood or something, I think. I'm not sure, guys. Don't take me like because I'm not like reading it right here in front of me. I'm like trying to remember, but I know he was like in total agony. And like the other ones that were with him, the 11, they were like sleeping, I think. They were like sleeping, and they were supposed to be like up with him because he like knew exactly what was about to happen and stuff. But yeah, like this was like a gloomy time, and like this card suggests a bad omen, like something's bad is totally about to happen. And that is what is about to happen. You see in the bed Peter cutting off the ear of the high priestess's servant, because they come to take Jesus away. They come to take him away. All right. So we got that part, right? Here we go. This is John chapter 18, y'all. When he had finished praying, Jesus left his disciples and crossed the Kidron Valley. On the other side, there was a garden, and he and his disciples went into it. Now Judas, who betrayed him, knew the place because Jesus had often met there with his disciples. So Judas came to the garden, guiding a detachment of soldiers and some officials from the chief priests and the Pharisees. They were carrying torches, lanterns, and weapons. Jesus, knowing all that was going to happen to him, went out and asked them, "Who is it you want?" "Jesus of Nazareth," they replied. "Am I he?" Jesus said. And Judas, the traitor, was standing there with them. When Jesus said, "I am he," they drew back and fell to the ground. Oh, that's interesting because you know how they was going back in that picture in the bed, how they're going back. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, this is like so, bad omen, bad omen. It's a bad sign. Something about to happen. Something about to happen. This is like that night, yo. It's different from any other night. Something like that. I don't know. Okay. This is interesting though. Jesus, knowing all that was going to happen to him, went out and asked them, "Who is it you want?" "Jesus of Nazareth," they replied. "I am he," Jesus said, and Judas the traitor was standing there with them. When Jesus said, "I am he," they drew back and fell to the ground. Again, he asked them, "Who is it you want?" "Jesus of Nazareth," they said. Jesus answered, "I told you that I am he. If you are looking for me, then let these men go." This happened so that the words he had spoken would be fulfilled. "I have not lost one of those you gave me." Then Simon Peter, who had a sword, drew it and struck the high priestess's servant, cutting off his right ear. The servant's name was Malchus. I hope I said that right. Jesus commanded Peter, "Put your sword away. Shall I not drink the cup the Father has given me?" Then the detachment of soldiers with its commander and the Jewish officials arrested Jesus. They bound him and brought him first to Ananias, who was the father-in-law of Caiaphas, the high priest that year. Caiaphas was the one who had advised the Jewish leaders that it would be good if one man died for the people. Okay, I guess I can stop there because we already got to the part where Peter cut the man's ear off. Lord Jesus, he cut the man's ear off. He ain't playing. Peter ain't playing. Peter is going for the kingdom, okay? So he like, we about to do that today. Or tonight. I'm just asking, do you guys see that in this card? But I'm going to show you more to prove my point. Because you see the bed. You see this androgynous person sitting up on the bed. Something terrifying. Something, gloomy and tragedy is about to happen. Or has happened. Or is in the place of happening. And this person is just so sad. It's like a nightmare, right? It's the blackness of the night. But if you go further in here, John 18, when I look at that picture here, it reminds me of, I'll show you, John 22. So, John 20. Early on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb and saw that the stone had been removed from the entrance. So she came running to Simon Peter and the other disciple, the one Jesus loved, and said, "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we don't know where they have put him." So Peter and the other disciple started for the tomb. Both were running, but the other disciple outran Peter and reached the tomb first. He bent over and looked in at the strips of linen lying there, but did not go in. Then Simon Peter came along behind him and went straight into the tomb. He saw the strips of linen lying there, as well as the cloth that had been wrapped around Jesus' head. The cloth was still lying in its place, separate from the linen. Finally, the other disciple who had reached the tomb first also went inside. He saw and believed. They still did not understand from Scripture that Jesus had to rise from the dead. Then the disciple went back to where they were staying. Now, Mary stood outside the tomb crying. As she wept, she bent over to look in the tomb and saw two angels in white seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. They asked her, "Woman, why are you crying?" "They had taken my Lord away," she said, "and I don't know where they have put him." At this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize that it was Jesus. He asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you are looking for?" Thinking he was the gardener, she said, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me, where have you put him, and I will get him." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned toward him and cried out in Aramaic, "Rabbi," which means teacher. Jesus said, "Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went to the disciples with the news, "I have seen the Lord," and she told them that he had said these things to her. So that makes me also think of this card. And it's just so weird because they're looking for him. It's like a state of shock, but see, this is also what makes me think of too. I'm gonna take you somewhere else too, guys. Oh, wait. I want to show you something else. Okay, wait. When she said, or when it said, I'm sorry, guys, just bear with me. It said here, okay, she been, where have you taken him? Oh, give me a second, guys. She goes, 15. He asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you are looking for?" Thinking he was the gardener, she said, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will get him." I thought it was interesting, the fact that she thought he was the gardener, okay? But if you go back a little bit further here, okay, you go back, it says on John 15, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful." Just the fact that it says, "My Father is the gardener," and she thought he was the gardener. It was just, I don't know if it supposed to synchronize or something, or but it just, to me, it does. Just the fact that it's there. And, I don't know. But I'm going to take you back to also another scripture I see in this is the Song of Solomon, chapter 3. If you look at this, okay, and I'm going to take you to the Song of Solomon. Take you there. I'll take you there. Definitely. Here we go. Listen to this and think of the card. "All night long on my bed, I looked for the one my heart loves. I looked for him, but did not find him. I will get up now and go about the city, through its streets and squares. I will search for the one my heart loves. So I looked for him, but did not find him. The watchmen found me as they made their rounds in the city. Have you seen the one my heart loves? Scarcely had I passed them when I found the one my heart loves. I held him and would not let him go till I had brought him to my mother's house, to the room of the one who conceived me. Daughters of Jerusalem, I charge you by the gazelles and by the does of the field, do not arouse or awaken love until it so desires. Who is this coming up from the wilderness, like a column of smoke perfumed with myrrh and incense made from all the spices of the merchant? I can keep on going, but I won't. But yeah, at the beginning there, it just makes me think of that, that time of what's going on. it's just crazy. She's like looking for him. And basically they're all looking for him. You know, his bride is looking for him. It's just weird. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. But it's interesting. Also, what I was going to say. I was going to say something else, but I can't remember what it was. I think it was up here. I don't know. Yeah, here goes the watchman. Yeah, it's here. He goes, I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. You know the garden that he went into? The Gethsemane, he went into the garden. No, it's just, and they all went into the garden. But I've come into my garden, my sister, my bride. I have gathered my myrrh with my spice. I have eaten my honeycomb and my honey. I have drunk my wine and my milk. Eat, friends, and drink. Drink your fill of love. I slept, but my heart was awake. Listen, my beloved is knocking. Open to me, my sister, my darling, my dove, my flawless one. My head is drenched with dew, my hair with the dampness of the night. I have taken off my robe. Must I put it on again? I have washed my feet. Must I soil them again? Do I need to go to the part where the lady is washing Jesus' feet? Or should I just keep on going? My beloved thrust his hand through the latch opening. My heart began to pound for him. I arose to open for my beloved, and my hands dripped with myrrh, my fingers with flowing myrrh on the handles of the bolt. I opened for my beloved, but my beloved had left. Where have you taken him? My beloved had left. He was gone. My heart sank at his departure. I looked for him, but did not find him. I called him, but he did not answer. The watchmen found me as they made their rounds in the city. They beat me. They bruised me. They took away my cloak. Those watchmen of the walls. All right. I think I'm done. I've been going so far. But yeah, that's the Nine of Swords, y'all. The Nine of Swords. I gotta go to work. I love you. Bye.